there, thanks for tuning in to Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and a few weeks ago, I got a chance to go to LEGO headquarters in Billund, Denmark, and get hands-on with a ton of brand new 2026 LEGO sets. Some of which are these 4 brand new LEGO Batman sets made to celebrate the new video game Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. In this video, we will be going hands-on with the brand new Batmobiles, taking a look at the inside, the minifigures, the new components, and everything in between. And then, in the next video, we're gonna do a full-on designer interview and showcase. So, let's jump in right now. As we jump into here, let me give a quick overview of all of the sets. The Batman logo is set number 76330 with 678 pieces, retailing for a pretty high $80 US. It does come with 2 minifigures though, one of which is the exclusive golden Batman minifigure, which is very funny because they recolored the Shang-Chi head that they've been using for Batman for the past few years in gold. So they made a new head for him, but it literally is the same face print, which is kind of funny. The next 3 are all Batmobiles. 76331 is the Batman v Superman Batmobile, retailing for $30, coming in at 220 pieces. 76332 is the Batmobile from The Batman, with 330 pieces, retailing for $30 US, and yes, that Batman minifigure does sport dual molded legs. And finally, 76333 is the Batman and Robin Batmobile, something LEGO has never touched before, with 272 pieces, also at $30 US. So with that overview complete, let's get hands-on with the sets. With the designer interviews out of the way, let's take a hands-on look at all of the sets. I'm going to start off with the Batman logo set because I feel like this one is maybe one of the least interesting ones out of all of the 4 sets, but it still is packing a lot of fun Easter eggs and surprises. Of course, opening up the inside, you can see you have the golden Batman there, and I really like how you can see different LEGO DC themed Easter eggs all around the build, like Catwoman's whips or Harley Quinn's hammer. The minifigure is the star of the show though, and I find it hilarious how they had the budget to recolor the Shang-Chi face, but not give like regular LEGO Batman a new face that maybe better suits the character. I mean, I think it suits him okay. It is just very funny to me that they specifically made a unique version of the reused face that they did not make for Batman for this. So that's a quick look at the minifigure. It is a golden version of the one that's included in standard sets today, and removing the golden cape, you can see the 20 years of LEGO Batman 2006 to 2026 printed on the back, which is a super cool design that harkens back to some of the LEGO Star Wars 20-year anniversary figures. Taking a look at these sets here, again, it is so cool to see them in chrome gold, but sadly they will not be available for purchase. As you can see from the sign, they are LEGO representations of the assets included in the video game. But we're going to jump into my personal favorite Batmobile build out of these 3, and that is the Batman v Superman one. And I don't know, maybe I'll catch some flack for this in the comments, but hot take, I actually think the design of this Batmobile is super unique and interesting, and I really liked the way it showed up on screen. So I definitely know which one I'm going to be driving the most in-game, because this set is so cool. This is utilizing a lot of unique building techniques, and obviously this isn't the first version of this model that we've gotten. Back when Batman v Superman first came out, we got a version of the Batmobile, and then we got another one that was kind of a modified iteration of it in the Flying Fox set for Justice League, and those 2 sets utilized a specialized canopy element, which obviously, as you might have heard in my designer interview just now, we didn't really want to go back to because that element is kind of weird and doesn't really fit most standards of LEGO design. So they chose to just use the regular windscreen, and honestly, I think that works out really well here. There's a look at the underside of the vehicle, which is utilizing the Speed Champions chassis, and I just love all of these different angles and details all around it. It almost feels like a Tumblr-esque iteration of a Batmobile with all these different angled armor plates. You can see in the seat there is that printed tile for the 20 years of LEGO Batman, which is included in every single one of the sets, and I just love how they used all these angle pieces to get across everything they wanted to do for the set. Taking a look at the armored Batman minifigure, he is sporting a brand new element for the figure itself. That is a new armor piece developed, I believe, specifically for this figure, although I wouldn't be surprised if it shows up in LEGO Star Wars for some Mandalorians, or even some other LEGO themes, like maybe a Ninjago character could use something like that. I think that would be super cool. Obviously, he is using the dual molded cowl, and they did mention that this cowl is a placeholder. The final one in the set will be gunmetal gray with white eyes. They just didn't have that on hand, so they used the one from the Batman Forever set with the blue eyes, but don't worry, it will have white eyes in the final set. The head print is utilizing a head made for LEGO Marvel earlier this year, made for like Bucky Barnes the Winter Soldier, but it really doesn't fit him that well either. Honestly, for Batfleck, I actually think it kinda works. You know, I can see the resemblance. It is kind of LEGO's generic bearded white male head, but honestly, given his appearance in the movies, I actually think it fits okay for the figure, and this figure just looks really cool. Moving on from that, we can take a look at the model from The Batman, and this is easily from one of my favorite Batman movies of all time. It is the most recent one, but it was so good, and it is very cool to see the brick-built versions of these sets here. There it is alongside that gold one, and if anybody knows techniques on how to chrome gold LEGO bricks, please let me know, because I definitely want to do that when this set comes out. The minifigure is the kind of marquee minifigure of the video game. It is the main one used in all the marketing, and as such, it is the most detailed. Seeing dual molded legs show up on a standard retail LEGO Batman minifigure just fills me with so much joy. Although, I have to imagine that part of that was because they did want to have that synergy with the video game, and I don't know if they would do that if it wasn't part of the game. The Batman Batmobile is also a ton of fun. It is super beefy. You can really imagine this just smashing through a lot of things, and they mentioned they remolded this piece to give it a bit more of a glossy finish instead of having a matte finish with a very obvious mold mark on it, which they usually have in the past. Going on to the inside of the cockpit, you can see a set of controls. There's a window on the back as well, and it does have this large engine on the front. You can actually go ahead and remove that engine to see the 20 years of Batman brick, which we'll take a look at in a second, and if you're curious, here is what the underside of the set looks like. I love the parts usage in this set. They're utilizing some LEGO Technic and LEGO Speed Champions elements, like the F1 car pieces in reverse, to actually have that curved element on the back, which I think just looks really unique and good. And then of course, you can remove the engine to see the 20 years of Batman printed tile, which is very cool. Altogether, this is kind of the poster child of the LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight video game, and for good reason. It just looks absolutely fantastic as a model. And then we go to something a little bit out there. This is the Batman and Robin Batmobile. That is obviously not one of the more well-received Batman movies. I watched it when I was pretty young and I thought it was just alright, but upon watching it as an adult, yeah, I can see why people did not like that movie. Still, the Batmobile design is definitely one of the most interesting ones that we have gotten in LEGO form yet. It actually is open air, so there is no canopy covering the figure itself, and you can open up the top hood to reveal the 20 years of Batman tile. It feels very accurate to what you can actually see in the movie itself. They've captured the curvature, the very large and angular wings on the back very well, and I am very curious to see how this one does, because it kind of feels like it could be a mashup of some of the Batmobiles we've seen in like the animated series, or stuff like the comics, where it is very kind of slim profile, low to the ground. It feels distinctly different than all of the other Batmobiles here, so I think it totally makes sense as to why they would want to do this as a different set. Taking a look at the minifigure though, this is one of the highlights. He is just using standard Shang-Chi head for Batman, but they have printed on the side of the cowl, which I didn't even know LEGO knew how to do, which opens up a whole world of possibilities, and I'm really curious to see what they're able to do with that in the future. There is that golden version again, where again, this is only supposed to be something in-game and not actually a physical product, but Batman sure looks good next to his golden Batmobile. Altogether, it was so cool getting a chance to see these in person early at LEGO Fan Media Days. I believe they're also on display at New York Comic Con today, and well, I'm in New York at the time this video will be coming out, so I might be hands-on with them again as this video is coming out, which is honestly pretty funny. That about wraps this one up though. Let me know what you think of the 4 new Batman sets down in the description. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and an early hands-on look at the new Batmobiles, and let me know if you're going to be planning on picking these up when they release next year. That's all for this one. Thanks so much for tuning in, and bye for now.